And we're going to wait for money once more, because this thing has cost us an insane amount of money, to be honest. But it's like just one super huge and long steel bridge. Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to another episode on Transport Fever 2 in the free mode with me, Spacefish, and welcome to our second train station out here in Colburn. If you'll remember, this thing, well, we've taken care of it a bit in the last episode, and this whole connection between Colburn and, what was it, Blackburn? No, Basingstoke down below here has kind of been, you know, planned for quite a while. The train stations have been there for ages, and, well, I've kind of gotten connections somewhere in the last episode, so I think it is probably time to finally take care of that today, and probably also redoing all the public transport in Colburn, because, well, I mean, that city is quite has been quite transformed, and it feels, it's quite weird. Let me fix that first, but it feels like we do need to take that onto. We've got these extra large streets here, which, Jesus Christ, are those massive, but I think we're going to stick with the larges here for now, and we will keep seems to work. Okay, so we're going to just connect this up properly, and then we're going to actually kind of look into how to optimize this whole thing too, because, well, of course this is going to be attached to the public tram network. I'm not sure I've got any connections to there yet. I don't. As you can see, like this was kind of the old size of the city, basically, right? Like this little square right here was what we started out with, and well, now it's that. So you can see Colburn has honestly grown quite a lot as well, and everything really is growing a lot. These airplanes out here probably still a huge issue. I don't think I've got any new airplanes that I can really grab, so nothing really that we can improve on right there, and this thing is absolutely overflowing, but that's probably just because we had a train come in there and offload some passengers very, very recently, well, 2 even. So, well, that, you know, we've all taken care a lot of in the last episode, and, well, I think we have the food delivery going to Blackburn here too, if I'm not quite mistaken. Which, yes, indeed, that is the case. So we've got all this side of the map pretty much taken care of for the moment. I'm sure there's going to be more things, like, momentarily to take care of. But what I really want to take care of is kind of this passenger connection with, like, Basingstoke and Colburn. Now, the thing that was kind of still open was, what do we do with Broadstairs and St. Peter's? We could have it as a midpoint, we could have it separated, I'm really not quite sure. I mean, we do have this station down here. How many passenger lines do we have? I've got 5 here that I can make use of. And also, we need to get fuel out there, which is another good point, probably. We would probably get, like, 1 to here. We would get 1 to there. And, well, we would kind of have connections going out from there, maybe from, like, Stanhope to, well, I mean, that's going to be future stuff, but, like, generally speaking, like, 2 to 3 to here. So I would only really have 1 to 2 passenger connections open right there. And I'm not quite sure how I want to make this happen. You know, I'm kind of a bit worried. No, I think we're just going to do 1. I think we're honestly just going to do 1 passenger connection. It feels to me like the more logical choice for some reason. Now, we do need goods here eventually in Broadstairs and St. Peter's, and we need bricks. Bricks, I'm really not sure where to get those. I think, oh no, we've got some production place down here, so we could maybe, okay, maybe that's something to do in the future as well then. But we'll definitely start this out as a passenger station. I'll kind of set this a bit more on the outskirts of Broadstairs and St. Peter's, because, I mean, honestly, the city's also going to be growing, so, you know, it's eventually probably going to be right in the middle of this. And, well, maybe I'm going to actually pull out the train line. That was not intended. Maybe I'm going to actually pull out the train line first, just so we kind of see where it needs to be, because this is, of course, all, you know, a bit tight. We are... Well, we've got 5 passenger connections here, potentially. I'm not quite sure why I have that many, to be honest. Maybe I was looking to make separate ones. Well, I've got one to Stapleford. We've got one potentially to Blackburn, just straight. Why do I have 5, though? Maybe Stapleford, Dudley, Blackburn would be 3. And then, like, Broadstairs and St. Peter's and Basingstoke 4 and 5? But I think we're going to just connect the 2 cities in, like, one train line, to be honest. I don't see a reason not to do it. So, one way or another, we're going to pick the furthest left connection for this right here. And, no, I would actually like to make it a high-speed train track. And we're going to pick, like, kind of the max curvature we can go for here without, you know, slowing down the train, ideally. And, yeah, I mean, that should be good, honestly. So we're going to just pull this out further right here. And then there's going to be Broadstairs and St. Peter's. And, well, we don't really need to pull it out all that far. But we're going to pull the train line out to, like, here-ish. And then we can already kind of see where we need to go with this. Now, the other train line that we will, of course, need is going to be the fuel one. I would estimate that all these are probably going to go to the left. So we will need, like, a tunnel here for the fuel line, I think. We've got a few choices that we can really take. It's, like, not really limited. How's this fuel refinery looking, by the way? Because I feel... No, it's just a shipment that's preventing us from growing, apparently. So we do need that kind of shipment anyways to push it a bit more. So, do we only need fuel to... Yes, we only need fuel to Basingstoke. So it's going to be a long way. Definitely going to make that high speed, of course. We'll kind of have to find out how to actually do this. Because what we will have to do... I'm not quite sure which train line here to pick, because... I mean, we don't have anything up here that we really need to connect to fuel anymore. And if it's going to be across the river, I'm sure there's going to be another oil refinery somewhere we could pick out to actually make fuel. Nothing out here. Well, except this city even seems to need any fuel, so... That being very interesting, of course. Like, I'm still not sure, like, if when cities develop like crazy, they maybe even develop additional demands. Could be the case, of course. But for the time being, I'm just going to pick, like, one of these middle ones just to have the choice of either, basically. Now, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go and make a tunnel straight away, basically. Just try and get this in below. Oh, God. I forgot. We may have a slight issue here. Issue being that there is, of course, a downward slope here. So actually getting a tunnel going, you can see, is a huge issue. We cannot do that. So what we will have to do instead, I guess, is we're going to have to do a bridge, which is going to slow the train down, unfortunately. But that's kind of the way it's going to have to work. We're going to make it steel at the very least. But I'm also out of money, which is kind of a bit bigger of an issue. So we'll get time playing once more, just kind of make some money while we go. And basically we're gonna pull this out like that, and then we're gonna go kind of raise it a bit more, yeah, like that ish, I guess. I mean, the train's gonna kind of have to be super slow here, unfortunately. And we're gonna pull it out like this, and then we're kind of gonna just go straight. No, straight. Can we go straight? That seems to be straight. Okay, now the icon is unfortunately very much in the way here for me. But we'll kind of pull it out like this, basically. And keep it at that height so we can kind of, you know, shape these in like that. And you can see it's going to cost me a huge ton of money, this. Maybe actually going to slope it slightly downwards. But yeah, it's going to be one expensive bridge right here. But unfortunately, like with the sloping out there, I didn't really have the choice to just make it a tunnel, so this is going to have to be the way that this works for us. Now, I don't want to keep going down here, to be honest, because otherwise we will probably run into a situation where we can't slope these inwards anymore, so we're going to keep going like that. And this should kind of be the point at which we can slowly start lowering this again. So we're going to do that. And we're going to wait for money once more, because this thing has cost us an insane amount of money, to be honest. But it's like just one super huge and long steel bridge. So, honestly, kind of probably reasonable. But yeah, so this we will pull out, and then we'll just have this... I think we'll just have this go parallel to the train track here, to be honest. I don't see a reason. Well, I mean, you know, if we want to add on another passenger line, maybe there's a reason to not do it like that. I don't know if you want to add another one though. It's kind of the thing I'm unsure about at the moment. Maybe we do. Maybe we do. Well, for the time being, let's continue this like that. And let's get this finally all the way to the ground so we can continue this at reasonable prices, hopefully. Right, so that is kind of that huge segment done now for the train line. We are at 5 million, so I think we can pause time again, kind of continue with that for a minute. Because otherwise, if I keep 3xing this, all the other cities I just took care of are going to outgrow us again like crazy, and it's going to be one hell of a mess. But yeah, so I'm kind of thinking I may want to have another railroad just parallel to this one for the time being, just so, you know, maybe if I want to have a second passenger train or something, I can have, like, you know, a secondary railway that can kind of evade towards, like, if we want to have two trains, you know, so we can just bypass them. And then we can slowly start bringing in this, probably, because, well, I mean, I don't think we're going to have even more train lines. So that should hopefully be fine right here. Gonna just very slowly pull this in. Please don't snap. I really would like to avoid any slowing down right there, and hopefully that's going to be mergeable for us. But that's the kind of two connections, well, three now, that I wanted to set up. Now we're going to make a passenger station right here, and kind of looking at the angle, it seems that about out here will be good. I'm just going to adjust the angle a tiny bit to kind of make sure. I do kind of like the size of this passenger building, to be honest. It's like, you know, Basingstoke is still, well, Basingstoke, Broadstairs and St. Peter's, rather, is still pretty small, honestly, and I don't want to make the city, like, crazy big. I mean, it's going to grow over time, you know, so it'll grow, but I don't think we need to make it too crazy. And even if it is, you know, just having, like, a smaller acute station, I kind of like the idea. I just kind of really like that idea, to be honest. So that's going to be the plan right here. We're just going to do it like that. We are going to add some cargo platforms to it. And that kind of makes me think that we probably don't want to quite merge this line here. Because the cargo that we do intend to bring in is the bricks from here. So we would kind of need to have like two, well, firstly two passenger lines, right? So we will do that. Just add another passenger line right here. I also once more totally forgot. Change these to the proper tracks. So that is the ones we actually want. Then we're going to go add passenger platforms right here, of course, right? Now we are kind of having the issue. Ooh, maybe I'll have to delete a part of this. Now the issue kind of being here that if I'm going to add it on... No, I mean, I can add on another set of high-speed train tracks here and just add on a cargo platform straight after. Or I could just go one further out and add the cargo platform then. It's honestly probably not going to matter much, so I'm just going to do it like this, you know, because you all probably know at this point that I very much like my symmetry. I'm also going to make this thing a bit longer because I kind of feel I accidentally chose like the shortest variant possible, so I'm kind of already going to extend this a bit before like the city actually starts growing quite a bit and I don't have any more space at all to kind of grow this train station. So another thing we'll actually need before I forget is we will of course need some underways here because, you know, passengers need to be able to get to the other side of the train tracks without having to, you know, yeet themselves in front of a train, which would be very, very unfortunate. So we will go and place some cargo platforms right there. I'm not quite sure where I want to actually have... I mean, this is pretty far away from all the city demands, so I'm kind of considering to just have my cargo buildings on this side, have like a specific street built for them, and then have like a truck system to actually ferry things in. Because I don't think if I have cargo building right here. This will not be in range of all of the industry buildings. Maybe it will be now, but it won't be in the range of all of the industry buildings in the future. So I think already building that with like a dedicated logistics system probably makes sense. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go and add on some more train tracks. Now I'm not quite sure. I don't think I can put cargo buildings. Yeah, so that's slightly annoying. I don't really need more than 2 cargo tracks. Maybe, you know, once more to just help trains evade each other, it would be good. So I'm going to add... Hello? Autosave. Oh god. Now it looks all weird. But yeah, I'm just going to add another set of train tracks on there because, well, you know, at least maybe it will help my trains evade each other. We probably could have left like a train track without cargo platforms because, you know, the fuel train's not really planned to kind of stop here. So could have just done that, but, well, it is what it is now. We've kind of built it like this, so we will stick to it. And I'll just go with the medium cargo buildings. And we will kind of place that opposite to that. So that's a main building. We'll put like, well, 2 side buildings should be fine. And then we can maybe just, you know, have a few of these small cargo platform thingies here. And that is going to be our cargo terminal, for which we will need a new road connection as well. But so do we need that for this side of the station. But before we do all that, I think we're just going to move on with the train tracks because I want to really actually get the connections going this episode. So we're going to go and refund some of these parts before we kind of curved it in that massively, because we'll need to readjust that. We will go and grab this set of tracks and we'll connect it up right here. And as you can see, it's still nicely 300 kilometers all the way, which is awesome. And we are going to go and grab this thing and connect that up too. Now, the only reason, you know, we would maybe not want to make Broadstairs and St. Peter's kind of part of a 3-stop lane would be that the trains have to slow down. Well, you know, otherwise it could just zoom through to Basingstoke at 300 kilometers an hour. So I think that is currently not really that much of an issue because honestly our trains are not that fast. Maybe when we get to like super high speed trains, I'm going to consider to actually split up the lanes and have like one high speed train just go all the way straight through and one maybe slightly slower train just stop at all 3. Maybe that makes sense now that we have 2 train lines. Could be something to consider as well. But those are set up, so that is very nice. Now, this thing right here is kind of going to be... No, not this one. This one right here is going to go this way, right? That's the one that I want to have for my bricks eventually. So I kind of kept it right there, and then this is kind of the one that I intend to be used in the very end for our fuel, and well, that will kind of just probably be a secondary one then. So the idea here being we've got that fuel line out here, so I'll slightly start curving things out here, and that should be very nicely connected as well. And that's going to be the fuel. So that's all the way to Broadstairs and St. Peter's for that setup. Now we're coming into down here, and we have got 2 train tracks for fuel once more. Because we don't need any train track for the tools here, to be honest, because, I mean, those are just right next to Basingstoke. So, I'll probably just honestly pull out both fuel lanes here too, and just have them go in parallel, and we'll just kind of split them up at the very end and have them go into there. Now, first things first, this thing is super in the way, which is kind of annoying. I could have a tunnel going below it, but we honestly need this kind of shaped slightly to the side here anyway, so we could consider doing something like that, which would still keep it at 300 kilometers an hour and get us a pretty nice angle of approach for the train station in terms of speed. So I think that's not too bad actually. I'll have to pull this one out a bit later. Well, I'm gonna get things back to triple speed so we can get some more money again. And oh, woo, no, why? Oh, it seems we have some big issues here with like kind of, oh boy. Yeah, okay, so we will have some issues here with speed just due to the incredible slope that we're encountering here. But I think that's honestly pretty good. You know, it's slowing us down pretty much just before the train station. So I think that is pretty fine. We're at 10 mil. Wow. That literally just took a minute. I don't know how many days passed. I felt like we had a month pass and we were already at 10 mil again. So that's nice. I'm going to pull out the other one just as a parallel one pretty much till here. And then here we will probably have to start splitting things a bit. Just due to us wanting to go right there. But that's still also pretty fine for speed. So that's kind of everything set up here then in terms of, yeah, just about before we had to build a bridge to slow the trains down, which is nice. But yeah, so everything's connected in terms of fuel. That's a great start. Now, passenger transport will be a bit harder, I feel, because like we cannot squeeze that past the iron mine anymore without slowing things down pretty bad. So either I build a tunnel, which I think may be the way to go, or we go around the left side and just have a wider sweep, which could also be an option though. So these two here are our passenger lines, right? And the wider sweep would be causing a collision apparently, but we can maybe circumvent that somewhat here. Yes. Are we just permanently going down right now? Why? I just want to have it flat, please. Okay, so we've got some road collisions here, of course, which is a bit of an issue. We can have it swooping like this, and I think it wouldn't even be that much of an issue. The thing is, we're pulling out the left one here, right? So we need some more space to not have another collision going on with the road, and that way we get another collision. Why do I get a collision now? I don't quite understand the issue there. Yeah, the flipping road system out here. Maybe we will just redo that one road here so we can get the parallel train track kind of plunked down. We'll just redo this bit of the road, I think. Maybe even just have a tunnel so that any on-passing, or maybe, I think this should work. The iron mine shouldn't be in the way. But yeah, so we'll pull this out like that for now. God, and now for the swoop. So this, in terms of speeds, no. That again. Oh god. Oh god, that's bad. That is real bad. Okay. Maybe we do want to revert that and actually go for a tunnel just so we can already get like kind of the max downward sloping in, because that bridge is going to slow us down like mad. Now that is a bit of wasted money, I do acknowledge that, but like that is pretty bad for us. So we'll go for max. Oh god. We'll go for kind of the move. 24. What? What do you mean 24? Oh, what is that now? 24 kilometers an hour? Why though? Okay, let me get rid of this real quick. I know, main connection will be interrupted. We'll fix the main connection, no worries. I just want to get my train track here first before anything else. But like, so we kind of want to have... Is this now max downward slope? No, that's not max downward slope. Is it? No, that is. Okay, so we're going to kind of go for this, because this allows us to permanently stay at 300 kilometers an hour, right? And then we kind of want to go in for the swoop. We're at the far most... Oh, yeah, still going to slow us down a bit here, no? Yeah. But it's not as bad. You know, we're not going to get slowed down to like 180 kilometers an hour, which would be the steel bridge variant. I think that's kind of as good as we can make it. But I'm pretty satisfied with that. So that's going to be the first passenger connection. We're going to pull the second one out in parallel, and then we need to fix that road right there as well. So let me grab this, pull it all the way out down here. That seems to be working pretty fine overall. Actually, we will just pull it out to here, because of course we'll have to split things again, I'm pretty sure. And then we go here-ish. And, oh no, we don't have to split things. Okay, so this goes all the way in parallel, and the speeds are pretty much the same. So that's good, that's fine, and that is everything connected up without having to use a single bridge. Well, at least down here, you know, except for like the fuel train one up there. But that's nice. That was, It was just a lot of train tracks. Like, a whole lot of train tracks this episode, but you know, at least we got things connected now. What we can do now here is do some... No, I don't want to do an extra large street in the middle of a village, like, seriously. I know I like to overdo things a bit, you know, just for the sake of things looking good, but, well. Okay, so are we gonna do trams here in this village? Are we gonna do, like, buses? I feel we're gonna stick with buses for the time being. I mean, we can always upgrade the tram tracks after the fact if we really want them, but it's such a small village, I just don't really see a fit for a tram in this kind of environment, to be honest. So I would really rather kind of like to make the streets a bit wider, maybe, just in case, you know, this thing grows like crazy. So we've kind of already got these things sorted a bit, and now we're out of money again, so, you know, just take a quick tap of a button to fix that. But yeah, so I feel we're gonna stick to actually losing money. No, we're gonna stick to actually going with a bit wider roads, you know, prepare for that. But other than that, this is kind of going to be like the bus system is what we're going to be going for the time being, and hopefully that's going to be fine too. Now, the only thing I will need out here as well is going to be a system to actually get goods into the city. Now, I would really like to not interrupt my high-speed train tracks, so maybe we're going to actually do tunnels right there, but we also need to do, before I forget about it, is we will need to actually connect these things here, and we'll make it like a brand new country road for like the 2 meters that this is, and actually connect that up. And, well, you know, maybe we can also upgrade some of these dirt roads sometime, somewhere down the road. But with that said, I think for the time being, I'm going to end it off right here, everyone. So, well, a lot of things done, I think. It was a hell of a job to actually get all this stuff set up and connected. But that's now all done. I think we need to get like a bit of stuff set up here for Broadstairs and St. Peter's in the next episode. Then we'll actually get to sending out our first passenger trains and fuel trains on this connection, which should be pretty cool indeed. And maybe we can actually take care of the materials plants here sometime soon as well, and get Broadstairs and St. Peter's to actually start growing as well. But with that said, as I said, I'm going to end it off right here for today, so I hope you enjoyed this episode. As always, if you did, please make sure to hit that like button down below. It does always help out the channel a ton. And if you haven't done so just yet, also please consider hitting that subscribe button right down below, as well as that bell icon right next to it, to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. But with that all out of the way, as always, thanks a lot for watching, everyone, and I hope I'll catch you in the next one. Ciao.